like Michelangelo is going to come out of the sewer one day and be like, "Cowabunga, we cured COVID," and I'll be like, "Yeah."
Yes.
Donatello's like, "I got the cure in my lab, man," and I'm like, "Thank you."
We've turned it into Airborne. We're just driving the turtle van across America.
We've got the blimp. We're just going all over the world.
I fucking loved the turtle blimp.
I did too. It was one of my favorite Ninja Turtles. Did you have a lot of Ninja? Were you into the Ninja Turtles?
Oh yeah. I didn't have the blimp, but I had friends who did. I had a fuck ton of Ninja Turtles.
Right, like, and it seemed like they made every character that was on those cartoons. They made a freaking
a figure.
Oh. Yeah, Baxter Stockman.
What'd you say?
Baxter Stockman.
Yep.
Stockman. He was in like 5 episodes, and then he turned into a fly. And they made figures of both of those. It was great.
I had the fly Baxter, yeah.
Me too. I loved it.
He was Shredder's sidekick, right?
I don't know who he was, to be honest with you. I haven't watched, although Olivia said she wanted to watch him. I should probably watch them.
Yeah, you should probably strike while the iron's hot, because my interest isn't going to last.
It's not. She did say she wanted to watch the Clone Wars with me, but I've been watching it. Have you? How far did you get into the Clone Wars?
I got all the way through the end of the 6th season, so all I haven't seen at least once is the new season since it hit Disney+.
So I'm watching this episode. It's like a 4-part episode. It's like a 4-part arc or 3 or 4-part arc in season 4 where it's about General Krell. And like, it's nothing but the clone troopers and General Krell the entire time. And I got to tell you, that was one of the best like story arcs I have ever seen like on this thing. And there are no Jedi to be found except this one bad one.
Wait, is that the one who's like deliberately getting troops killed and stuff?
Yes. Yeah.
I remember that episode. That episode was like, holy shit.
Because Rex is running out there and he's like, we're all clones. And like taking that dude's helmet off and then they all figure it out and like they go like, hey man, you're fucking coming with us. And like he kills so many of them obviously because he's a Jedi, but they outsmart him essentially. If you haven't seen the show.
I forgot that there were. Yeah, I don't remember the later seasons as well. I remember, well, we'll talk about it once you get there. I don't think you're there yet. There's one story arc that really broke my heart the first time I was watching it. That, you'll get there, and you'll know it when you see it. But yeah, I need to get back to it. I've been playing a lot of video games. Yeah.
I've been playing Battlefront with my kid. That's what she really likes to play right now.
Like 1 or 2?
1 because 2 has a really bad like 2-player. It's not like I don't think you can play like
co-op.
Like it's hard to play it or you can't play. I haven't figured it out because I'm too old and dumb. But like she likes the first one more anyway because I think it's a little simpler for her than the second one is. I like the second one because there's so much more to
Star Wars content.
Yeah, it's like every Age of Republic, Age of Resistance, and Rebellion. It's all there, so you can play as everyone. I
really liked the single player in that game too.
I did too. It was a lot of fun. Like it almost felt like to me like a GoldenEye type game, but like with Star Wars characters and sometimes Luke Skywalker was there.
That was the one thing I didn't like about the game was where suddenly you're playing as a different. I understand why they did it, but it's also like the one time you get to control Luke Skywalker in a modern video game and he's just hitting bugs.
Yeah, he's just fighting bugs with the fucking Empire guy. I mean, I guess he wasn't at that point, right? No, he still was. They were still in the Empire at that point, weren't they?
I think so, yeah, because it was right after Return of the Jedi.
Although then it went all the way up to, like, the new Star Wars, right?
Right before Last Jedi started. Mm-hmm. I really like the actress who played the main character. She was also in The League and a bunch of other stuff. I can't remember her name, but she's really good.
Yeah, good. It was overall. I loved it. It was too short, but like also with that sort of game, like that's not really the bigger component is the multiplayer. All the. Although they have a lot more side stuff in Battlefront too.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, that's all I had to say.
Star Wars Squadrons.
Oh yeah. Which we talked about, like a modern X-Wing game, literally not that long ago, and you were like, I wish they would make one, and then we were like, holy crap, they're making one. You
I've already
pre-ordered,
got
right?
it pre-ordered. Yeah. I got it for PC since it's going to have VR support. I've got an Oculus Rift because I'm a nerd and I don't have kids.
Sure.
So I'm actually going to fly an X-wing in a couple months. I'm
That's
looking forward to this very
awesome.
much.
So you're going to be like in the cockpit and being like, well, let's do this, buddy. That's pretty cool.
My R2 unit's going to talk to me. Yeah.
You're going to be like, what, R2? Shut up. You're a bad droid. Bad droid owner.
An abusive droid owner.
Yeah, you're like Watto. Remember when Watto got ruined? Fucking serves him right, man. Yeah, man. I wanted to tell you, watching the Clone Wars. Yeah, when he got ruined, remember he like lost everything in the bed.
Oh, in Attack of the Clones, you mean? When Anakin goes to see him and he's like surrounded by flies.
Yeah, but I think he lost everything. Before, I think he lost everything on that pod race. I think that pod race was like sort of a downward spiral for him.
Okay.
But what I've loved about the Clone Wars, watching it, is it expands that period of Star Wars.
The Clone Wars, yeah.
Right. It expands that period, and so when you watch it, like I watched Phantom Menace the other night, and I kind of liked it. Like I'm not gonna lie.
Indoctrinated.
yeah. I was like, you know what? This makes a lot. Like I was like, oh yeah, man, look at the Trade Federation up here acting like they're not doing nothing. I know they're doing something. I know exactly what you're doing, Nate Gunray. I know.
I think the problem, and I think what this speaks to is a fundamental narrative flaw in the Star Wars prequels, is that there are a lot of good ideas going around and neat concepts, but nothing ever quite lands or sticks. And so the Clone Wars kind of comes in behind it and ends up like, filling in a lot of gaps.
Yeah, it's like solidifies a lot of like.
And holds it up.
Yeah, it really does, because like now I look on this trilogy with much fonder eyes, being like, oh yeah, this is a part of a whole bigger story. And like, if you don't look at just those three movies, like they become better because they're just episodes. They're all just episodes.
Right. Yeah, exactly. It's a serial. So one thing I really liked the last time I watched The Phantom Menace, I watched them all right around the time Disney Plus launched because they had them all.
Yeah, sure.
One thing I noticed is Anakin Skywalker in that movie, like his dialogue and stuff. Jake Lloyd isn't the best actor, but he's just a little kid, so whatever. But a lot of the things he says, like that character, that version of him sounds a lot closer to the Clone Wars cartoon version of Anakin.
Yeah.
Like very much, with the jokes, with the overconfidence, with the, a lot more fly, Kitster's right, I will finish this time or whatever, and less whiny, he doesn't whine at all.
Well, when I watched that back, now that I have kids, there's one scene in particular, but then I thought about the rest of the movie. And everyone gives Jake Lloyd a lot of shit, right? They're like, oh, he sucks. He's the worst Anakin ever, which, come on, Hayden Christensen is the worst Anakin.
Shots fired.
Shots fired. You heard it here first. But he does a lot of things that my kid does. Like, there's a scene where they get to Coruscant after all the shit has happened, and, like, Anakin's there, and, like, Qui-Gon's talking to the Chancellor, and he's like, we need to talk to the Jedi Council right now. And, like, Anakin, like, doesn't know what to do, so he kind of starts following Padme. And, like, he keeps looking back at Qui-Gon, and he's like, do I go, what am I doing? And he's just like, yeah, you can go. And I was like, dude, my kid would do some shit like that. So I was like, I actually felt more like, yeah, man, this dude's just a kid. And then I watched him, like, destroy a spaceship, and I was like, never mind. I forget all the goodwill I had towards. But even then, like, while he was doing it, I was like, I could see this happening in theory to an 8-year-old child.
Right. Well, especially an 8-year-old child who doesn't have any fear or sense of limitation, which we've already seen because of the pod race. I think one of the problems with the pod race, or at least how it develops Anakin, is he's got those goggles on, so his face there's no performance there. It's just a blank-faced kid, like, fixing the racer. So there's, like, it loses some of the drama it should have, part of what makes those space battles in the original trilogy so good are the close-ups on the actors, between the shots and stuff, like when Han and Luke are fighting the TIE fighters outside the Millennium Falcon in the original Star Wars, like,
don't get cocky, kid. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah.
So I'd like to go ahead and get the sponsor out of the way. Uh-oh. Did we lose someone? Oh, are you back?
Yeah, okay. You lost me for a sec?
I did, yeah.
Sponsor?
Yeah, let's go ahead and do the sponsor, pay some bills real quick. We got some, it was mostly like furs, and like, no, I'm just kidding.
Furs Cafeteria?
No. Like furs, like foxes and stuff like that. It was like yes, it was our payment was that, but I said, no, we don't do that. We turned down animals crackers last time. We're not gonna do that. So
we are anti-animal cruelty here at Team Hurricane.
Yes. So I said, no, we want some Litecoin. So they got us some Litecoin. Sit back. It's going to be like when Lieutenant Dan invested in Apple. Litecoin, wave of the future. You heard it here first.
Litecoin. I feel like you give me a different cryptocurrency every time we do a show.
I do.
You're so ahead of the game.
I do. I actually have cryptocurrency. I actually have like some cryptocurrency. Yeah. It's
what is it? Your retirement fund?
No, it's absolutely not. It's
your rainy day money.
Yeah, no, it's just, I don't know. We'll see it's interesting to watch how all of it takes place, and I've been trying to learn more about it and about all the technology behind it. But I figure, it's like it's like pennies, like 50 cents here. It's nothing like crazy. So I don't have any real money, and anything like that. But it's
in the game,
right? Like it is fun to like look at all, and there are a shit ton of cryptocurrencies now. So I probably will come at you with one every new. The ones I've given you so far are pretty good, but we haven't even gotten into the Bitcoin variants yet. Bitcoin Cash, Bitcoin SD. So
Republic Dactaries.
Yeah, those are no good here. See, we tied it around. But anyway, the business is called, and I have a legal obligation here in a moment to put a footnote. They're called Spirit Busterz with a Z. Okay. No affiliation with the Ghostbusters. Okay. So there's the legal thing. We gotta get that out of the way. The thing is, like, they come get real ghosts. Like, your granny's like hanging out in your like old pantry. Like, I imagine happens a lot in the deep woods of Alabama.
Yep.
That's
many grannies in the pantry.
Right, and you're always like, Granny, get out of there and go on to the next world. These people help do that. It's not like...
Oh, go ahead.
No, go with it.
I was going to ask, so is it as violent as the Ghostbusters? Do they come in with proton wands and like blast them and incarcerate them?
That's what I was going to say, so we were on the same page. I love it. Okay. I was going to say it is not violent at all. That is what differentiates them. They do more closure. There's more closure involved instead of zapping them into a trap and throwing them in like that endless energy hellhole.
Yeah, I was going to bring that up. We can talk about that after the spot's done. I want to talk about Ghostbusters for a second, but first, let's talk about Spirit Busters. Let's earn their Litecoin. So basically they'll stand outside the pantry. So they're like hostage negotiators or suicide.
Yeah. Yes.
Bridge jumper negotiators, but for the dead.
Yes, absolutely. So there's a lot more peace involved for everyone.
Okay, it's all well and good if the person's going to heaven, right? The moving on is great. But what if the reason Granny's hiding in the pantry is that she knows she's going to hell?
Fair point. And they made a very clear caveat in that for those cases, there will be more forceful tactics that they will use up to and including proton.
With a Z.
Yes, proton packs and traps with a Z as well.